A filly. This is by a first season sire who made a name for himself in New Zealand. He's the son of O'Reilly, who's been a great stallion in the Waikato and Australasia for a long, long time. And Alamosa's now looking to head down the same path himself. What do they say? The best milers make the best stallions. Alamosa was a specialist miler. Loved the trip. He won a handful of Group 1s at a mile in New Zealand. Came to Australia under Mick Price and he won the Touroubreds handicap, which was an endorsement of his New Zealand form. He could mix it with the best over here and get the cash. And these are his first progeny. This is out of a mare called Passive Rose, who's by Zabeel. There's a bit of Zabeel in this girl, as you can see. She's got that lean, rangy frame about her. Pretty woolly still. She's had a winter at Redbank North. A few frosty mornings down there, and she hasn't shed the coat yet because she's only been in a couple of weeks. She's in the process of being broken in. Passive Rose, a Zabeel mare, has only had one to the races, and it's a horse called Yastrzemski, who's a winner in Singapore at his second run in a race. Failed on the poly track over there at his first start, won on the grass, failed at the poly track at his third run. So I think he might be trying to tell them something. This girl will follow a similar path to all our other staying fillies. She'll have spring out, sun on her back, after a couple of weeks at Warwick Farm, which she'll head to as soon as Brian and the team complete the breaking in process here. And then she'll return towards the end of the year. And we'll ask a few more serious questions of her. Again, some of you present are in this filly. She does have shares available. She's one of the cheapest fillies we're syndicating all year. Alamosa Passive Rose. Guy Zabeel mares, 26 stakes winners last season he produced.
Yeah, wonderful broodmare sire. And as you've already said, this girl is obviously very immature yet. I think this time next year you won't know her. She just needs time and hopefully once again can develop into a staying filly.
Now, I remember a horse of yours called Wild Iris that was beaten in a Goulburn Maiden prior to winning the Adrian Knox and the Oaks in the same campaign. What did Wild Iris show you early on to warrant pitching at those races, or did she just suddenly jump out of the ground?
The answer to that is she suddenly jumped out of the ground because we had to play the late entry fee, which was about 20,000, so lucky she won. But no, she was a filly that always showed a bit of pace. I remember Glenn Boss rode her very early in her career and told me she went well. But then she had a flat time where she didn't do much, and but the key with her was, as so often happens with good races, she was just in the right place at the right time. She suddenly came good. Two things: over ground. I think her mother was by Spectrum, was it? Mother was by Spectrum, so she had a little bit of stamina there on her mother's side, and all of a sudden she came good over more ground and with blinkers on. But we weren't smart enough to nominate her for the Oaks. She was really bred to run 14 or 1600. So, as I say, she cost, due to my mistake, it cost the owners 20,000, but fortunately she won the Oaks. But you wouldn't have picked her as a staying filly early on. She didn't have that sort of conformation. She was rather thick set, but she came good at the right time.